I'm Barry Trammell, and I guess I believe the hype about the SEC.
Well, we're going to get to see a great game involving the SEC, LSU, Oregon, to start this opening weekend. We're going to talk about that and some other big games around the country here on the Press Row from the Old Pubco Studios. We're brought to you by Cox High-Speed Internet. Barry, LSU, Oregon. It's been out there for months. We've been talking about this game. Is this going to be as good a game as it feels like it's going to be?
Well, it's you never know, but it's certainly a fabulous matchup. Two top 10 teams playing on a neutral field down at Jerry World in Arlington. Lots of intrigue with the LSU players being suspended and Les Miles looking like he's got his back up against the wall against Oregon. I'm picking LSU. I just think Miles is at his best when he's sort of got people snookered, and I think LSU's defense is very good. I think LSU overcomes Oregon and wins this season opener.
It's going to be great to see the hi-hat on the big screen at Jerry World. How much fun is that going to be? I'm picking Oregon in this game. LSU obviously coming from the SEC, fantastic defense, even with the suspended players involved, including their quarterback. They're going to be at a disadvantage there, but their defense is going to be fantastic because of the league that they come out of. But I think Oregon, that offense, you see a lot of returners off a team that nearly won a national championship a year ago. I give a slight edge to Oregon because of that. I think Oregon comes out on top, wins it, but I think it's going to be a fantastic game. Barry, you talk about the SEC. There's another opening week game, great game involving an SEC team, Georgia and Boise State. I think this is the other marquee game of the week.
It's a fabulous matchup. Playing this one in a semi-neutral field, Atlanta, not neutral at all, really, but at least it's not between the hedges in Athens. This is a huge game for both squads. Boise State wins this game, they might be playing in New Orleans for the national championship. They win this game, and they could be in line to challenge for number one throughout the season. Meanwhile, Georgia, Mark Richt, under the gun after a couple of so-so years, needs a good year, needs a solid year, needs a victory in this game. I think he's going to get it. I think Georgia gets it done with an inspired performance. Georgia has ball players, you know that.
Barry believes in the SEC. I like the SEC, but I'm not picking Georgia to win this game either. I'm picking Boise State to beat Georgia. I'm not yet believing that Georgia is on the comeback trail. Lastly, Barry, one more quick game. This is a Texas-based game. TCU and Baylor playing on a Friday night. Obviously, a couple teams that are of some pretty good interest around here. How do you see this one shaking out?
Well, this is a fabulous matchup because you got a team coming off the Rose Bowl victory, the Horned Frogs, at Baylor, which is playing much better. Made a bowl game last year. Art Briles has resurrected the Bears. You've got intrigue going because what happens if the Big 12 falls apart? A natural soft spot for Baylor might be in the Big East, become one of these Western Big East teams the way TCU is going to the Big East. But would TCU blackball Baylor? Baylor left TCU 16 years ago to form the Big 12, left TCU out in the cold. I don't think TCU would mind leaving Baylor out in the cold this time. Get to settle this one on the football field, though. TCU clearly the better program. TCU plays big-time football, but this is going to be tough. They'll be fired up in Waco. They got a nice game, a nice team. I think this is one of the bigger games in Baylor history of the last 10, 12 years. I think it's going to go down to the wire. I'm picking TCU by 1 point.
I'm picking TCU as well. We finally agree on something, but I'm picking them by a little more, over a touchdown, I'll say. But this is a fantastic game, and obviously with all of the goings-on in the Big 12, it just adds to the intrigue of this game and sort of the undertones that are there. A Friday night game, a game that people will get to see and watch and enjoy, regardless of what they've got going on here in the state of Oklahoma. I think it's going to be great to see Robert Griffin III, to see where he's at as an elite-level quarterback. We saw him really emerge a year ago, and now can he take that next step against TCU, a team that obviously can score points, but their defense is where they really are at their best. How will he do against TCU? And that defense, I think, is going to be a fantastic storyline, one of those great undercurrents of a great opening weekend, Barry. It's going to be fun to finally get some football started here in the college football scene. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.